Is this actually a live stream now or not? I cannot tell. So the idea was to play around with pi. But again, no idea if this works. Someone give me some feedback. I might be hanging out quite alone here. No idea if this works. Live chat requires premium account. Probably because I changed something here. I guess I can't change this now. Oh well. Sorry for that. Okay, so the idea is I built myself an assisted review tool a couple of days ago, but the reason it's useless is because it doesn't really do diffs. So the idea was that you go in and then you say assisted review, and then you give it, for instance, a pull request, which could, for instance, be this. And it helps you review a pull request. So it's like the non-machine version of it. And there are two reasons why I didn't really go anywhere with this. One is that, well, it just doesn't work particularly well, but that's fixable. But I also don't enjoy it. And then part of the reason why I don't enjoy it at the moment is because there's no diff viewer. So it's sort of this very weird experience where you have to go into browser to look at the diff, and then you have a conversation with the chat over here. So that's basically what I'm pondering about. It's like, how do you actually make that experience be in any way reasonable? So for instance, show me the diff of one of the examples of where we changed the console call. And I think it just makes up some shit now. Yeah, it's shit. So I think we want to give the agent at least the ability to bring up a diff tool that we would also register with the assisted review that would then just render a unified diff straight as some sort of markdown with source syntax highlighting into the stream. And there's a question what the diff tool would take as inputs. So it could either directly take already source content as a diff, as a unified diff, or maybe the inputs should be, it's a good question. What should the inputs be? Let's think about what the potential inputs could be. But like, for instance, the use case that we want to solve is the following. The user would give the following prompt. And the prompt would be, I actually don't even know where I would see the chat. This is, I have no idea how this thing works. I think there's this thing. Let me open this here on this other screen. Is there chat? Can you see a chat? How do you see? I don't know. I'm entirely unsure how this works. So there's a chat here. Chat. Okay. So the prompt here, for instance, is this. And so the question is like, how would the diff tool work so that the user chatting with the agent can bring up pieces of the PR, basically? And I guess what we want to show the diff, and if there's a link that would bring us direct into the GitHub pull request view, that would probably be helpful. Actually, not sure if this is a good strategy here or not. And I guess there's a webcam I can bring in somehow. Let's see, properties. Okay, but where's my... Maybe this should be the other way around. Kind of confused how this works. Face on camera. Okay, there's my face. So my actual camera not work. Okay, now it works. Yay, I'm on the screen, I guess. Okay. Maybe this is, I don't know if this is improvement. This might be worse. Where do I put myself so that I'm not in the way of the screen? Maybe here. Okay, so agent would decide the diff scope. So it's a diff console. Tool runners only hunks containing that match. Well, let's answer some questions for this thing here. Yeah, it should probably, if the inputs are right, then it should run GH itself. But obviously there's an alternative input here where it can already receive the entire diff directly, in which case that's irrelevant. So it has to support both because I think that's what the agent is most capable of doing. How would this work? Walk me through it. Yes. Yes, after every diff that it shows, we definitely want to show a link to showing that hunk on the GitHub UI. Actually, I wonder if I have this reload feature. So I have this reload feature that Mario edit. I wonder if this works here. The goal here is basically build a better pie. Well, not a better pie. Build a better review experience in pie. So I can't tell if I'm alone here, if anyone is watching. This is kind of a weird experience. Because I don't understand, like, if there's a chat or not. I guess it might be chat. Like, I can't open this up for everybody, can I? I'm really entirely unsure how to use this tool. Guess you can't change the... Yeah, I guess you can't change it. I think once the stream is live, you can't change anything. So maybe next time around I'll open up this chat. Okay. Codex is very slow. Maybe I should be doing this with Opus. So what is it? So this is the tool parameters source git PR diff. This is actually weird because How much context I've left? Base ref. Optional. What the hell is this? So all my Py tools are pure vibe slop. Well, not all of them, but like basically most of them. What is it doing? Compile crap. Oh my god. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. Why is it even doing this? Okay. Codex is very slow. I really don't. I think Codex is built for people to really run in parallel, and I'm not there yet. I don't understand how to do so many things in parallel yet. So, particularly not on a live stream. But yeah, okay. So one of the things would be like to bring up diffs. Can you link me to this diff in the GitHub UI? I actually wonder if it can do that without me providing a tool. Okay, so it added something. So let's try to reload this extension. I don't know if this works. Actually, we have to restart this. So assisted review, GitHub PR. Take this PR again. Okay. Show me one of the diffs where we switched one of the console log statements. Will it show me a nice diff? Assisted review diff, well, that's positive. Why does it look so bad? Okay. This looks terrible. Why do I not have any syntax highlighting? Should we not see some? I guess you need to render this as markdown. Do we not have nice TUI components for this in Py? The answer is we have. I should probably advertise this feed better. Okay. So okay, let's try this again. The review doesn't work here. The reload doesn't work here, which is not optimal. And that is because I think I'm maintaining this in-memory state. And I guess I wonder actually, maybe we do this quickly. How does the /review, actually let's do opus here, this is ridiculous. How does the /review command here, what's the wrong one? Reload command in Py work, and how can I restore this state in an extension after reload? Let's do opus. I can't live with the speed of this. Introduce a new, okay. Show me one of the diffs where we changed console log to something else. Marco, look at this. Pretty. Much prettier. And now in fear, if I click on this, do I land on the right diff? No, I do not. I don't know if you made up the links, but they do point to the PR, but they don't point to the diff section. I get this and this hunk here. Can I ever find this? Actually, this might just be GitHub's shitty UI. Off context. Off context. So this one here. So it's A, B, R something. Would it load? I can't tell. So I guess it would be cannot switch account. Cannot switch account not available. Account not available. According to the UI, a more accurate link would be the following. Okay, so key points, what's going on here? I have an extension that can enable an review mode, which is resident until a command is invoked. The question is, can we restore that state after reload? Extension is development, agent stuff, by extensions, assisted review. GitHub's gh command. Where's this on GitHub? You would think that there's a link to it, right? GitHub. It doesn't help me. Manual. Okay, it's github.com CLI. Okay. Let's make another window here. Does this repository contain code to directly link to a particular line in a pull request review? Particularly, we are looking for the anchors and how to compute the link to an anchor. Let's see if it can find this. Great, it changed my, hold on. Did it change something? Another coding agent changed assisted review.ts, so please reread the file before making changes. Okay. So what is it doing? Found some interesting reference and comments, but it doesn't help. Diff SHA R-line. Well, I'm not so convinced that this is actually this, because this looks more than a SHA. This is it's too long for a Git SHA, right? Where do you get the idea from that this is SHA-256 of the file name? It could be, but where do you get this from your weights, or is there code somewhere that suggests this? I got it from training weights. Well, there's one way to find out. How do I copy? Okay. Please verify. I have this anchor. It links to, what is it linked to? 73 in this file. Validate your claim. Please, this, oh, it already figured this out separately, right? Please summarize the algorithm as Python supercode. If this were Opus, I would actually, this is what generates the hashes in case you need help. Okay. So how does this work? What it did here? Review mode state interface to define persistent model state. So what does it do? Where's the actually interesting code? Session switch reconstruct state. Well, we'll find out next time we try this, if this worked. So, Hunk link target. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Assisted review, pull request. Let's take this pull request. We should probably do one thing here quickly. I actually never committed this code. So I should. I mean, I did, but not on the main branch. I should do this again. What's it called? So one question is, does reload bring back the review state? Okay. Show me the first diff. Diff. That is so much more fun with Opus. Okay. I'm seeing something. That's promising. What I don't like though is that I think the input to this tool. What did it do? That's a lot of diff. Okay. What happens if I click on it? Well, it does jump to the line now. So you can't see this, but this did jump to the line. Show me just one hunk. Okay, have a click on this. What do I see? Okay. It went to 94. Yeah, this is not correct. So it told me just going to show me one hunk, but it showed all hunks. What's with this? Hunk plus one. Now, why is there such an indentation here? What do we have here? Nothing. Why are all my diff views indented? Oops. Why does this? I hate when Mac doesn't copy. Oh no, please don't change code in. This is just a question, don't change it. This comes from the markdown render. It prefixes every code block with. Interesting, really. Reload. Show me one diff. Better. Significantly better. But then why does it output me more shit afterwards? Now here's the important question. Why do I see it twice? You're seeing it twice because it was runs diff twice. Then this is. Well, this is actually what's happening. So let's see. Please validate in Pi session file. I'm not sure if you're actually correct about what you're saying. This is the most recent message in the Pi session that is showing this behavior. The diff is shown twice because it appears in both the tool result and message. Then we need to change the prompt somewhere here so that the agent does not try to reprint. I don't know where this goes. Is this a description that goes into our tool? Is this a prompt? One of the things with like building stuff for agents is that it's very meta. It's incredibly meta. You end up building things for your agent. Okay, let's try this again. Assisted review, pull request, URL. Show me a diff. Okay, it did not tell me more stuff. But I can see that is an improvement. So the biggest issue with all of this is obviously that this is just not a great experience, right? Like viewing diffs in here just bloody sucks. I wonder if you can register a diff view with quick look. Is it possible? Because I have this files command where you can quick look things like this, but obviously this does not render a diff. Actually, this is the wrong folder. Actually, let's do agent stuff. Is there a way to render a unified diff with quick look on macOS? So the extensions. Peak. What the hell is peak? QL color. What the hell is QL color? Quick look color. Well, that looks dead. This looks deader. Meh. Do I want to vibe code myself my own version yet? What else is there? And they need to be code signed. I definitely don't want to deal with this shit. What kind of desktop-based diff viewer launches pretty quickly and can be remote interacted with by command line on Mac? Maybe the solution actually is to integrate with VS Code somehow, but If I were to ask you to show me one of those diffs in VS Code, how would you do it? On a completely different branch, right? Open VS Code's diff for a specific file. So this does work. Well, let's try. First, let's check out the branch. This is, I would say, in general, a good idea. Fix console log for nested objects. This is from before. Yes, my commits are very slow because I have so many checks here. And then we want to do this. But why? Because I deleted this. Is this what's going on? Restore branch. Okay. Now, let's see. The editor couldn't be opened because the file could not be found. Well, didn't work. Well, let's find out. Does this work? Well, actually, this will not work because this is an empty diff because we already applied this. This is not a very helpful exercise here. Man, this is bloody annoying. Don't have a good PR now, so we could sort of we can do the following. Instead of doing it in this project, we are doing it on the agent stuff itself because now we have some changes here. We push this up. Then we go to Mitsuhiko agent stuff. We make a pull request. Super meta. And then we go here to this. We need PyE, Py extensions, assisted review. And then we assisted review this PR against itself. Maybe I should do this with Heiko, it would be faster. Show me one diff. Okay. Now, if I were to ask you to open this with Visual Studio Code, how would you propose to show me this in VS Code from the command line? And think hard about this problem, please, before you do. I like that it's still thinking. What if you were to create a diff with git diff and pipe that to VS Code? Well, I see something. That's not super helpful. It's horrible. Okay, that doesn't really help me. Let's try the following. Let's try to leave a comment on this PR. Where should we leave a test comment? Leave a comment on the module state variables saying that maybe we need to redesign how state is persisted, given that we also support it for reviews. Do you not have a tool that we registered so that you pinned comments? It looks like the agent doesn't really like to use the assisted review comment tool and is considering other things. Maybe we need to be more forceful in the prompt. Additionally, I think we need to register a / command so that we can see all the pending comments. Let's see. So /reload. Actually, I wonder. Actually, I wonder if this will work now. Assisted review comments. Will I see my comment? I do see my comment. Why is it in a text editor? Oh, this is so sloppy. This is so sloppy. Why did you put it into the text editor? I want a little nice list that I can select from each comment that we have. And then if I click on it, I can read the comment. So it like the whole goal of assisted review comments primarily would be to view them step by step so that I see what's going on. Not so much to copy it back in the editor, even though that is a useful feature. So you can have a copy command at the end that creates it, or instead of adding a copy command, add actually, when you do /assisted review comments, let's do two things. First, it brings up as a mode where it gives you the option to either copy what you just put into the editor as formatted markdown into the clipboard. Another one is to insert that into the prompt. And the third one is, which I should be the first one, is to bring up a list of all the pending comments, which is just the file name plus the column. And if I click on it, I would read the comment. And if I hit escape, I go back to the list to read the next comment and so forth. And for that, we use the selector TUI component that we already use all over the place in Py. That's interesting. Let's see if this works. Hello, Marlene. Are you watching? I don't know if you're watching, but I saw your comment on Twitter. Maybe I should post this. How do I post this live thingy? What's going on? I have some hair. Maybe I should post this into Shitty Coding Agent. Sharing my live stream. Okay. So, does it not? It's still editing. So, reload. Assisted review comments. Review comments. Look at this. I see my comment. Hitting escape a second time from that view should, however, take you back to the main menu, which is review, copy, add to prompt. It's PB copy? Really? Is that what we're doing? Hold on. I think there's a less shitty version of this. Does Pi expose an API to copy things into the clipboard? I think /copy uses something like this. Let's see. Copy to clipboard. It's exported. It's not exported, really. It's not exported. I could need to either Pi exec API call. So what does this do? This is maybe copy to clipboard should be exported. Should it be exported? Let's ask the Pi people. I think it would be quite useful for extensions to be able to copy to the clipboard without having to re-implement this. Actually, is it really not exported? I think, yeah, it's not exported. Why? Because it's useful. Create. Maybe this is useful. I don't know. Okay, so in the meantime, let's ignore this. Reload. Assisted review comments. Review comments. Escape. Escape gets us back to the menu. Perfect. This is helpful. Commit some changes. Now, let's see. I think this is time to compress down a little bit. Right at 50% here. Let's go to here. We have now implemented the first part of our review tool. We now want to focus on improving the commenting experience. Right now, we have made it all the way to adding comments, but there's not a way yet to delete these comments or to change the comments. So we need to change both the tool and the user interface. So I don't know how much longer I can do this, but kind of want to finish at least one part about this whole thing. I'm live streaming, just that you know. Yes. I'll come soon. Yeah. So this we don't need. What did we compress here? Next step. update remove. That makes sense. Continue with the plan. And so in the meantime, the question is, show me the diff. Actually, let's restart this. Assisted review. So now let's see. This is the wrong one. Now let's see if I could use my own tool, because that's really that will be the proof in the pudding, right? Proposed review plan: state management, persistence, security. This is not how I would probably review this. How would I review this? Walk me through the state management and persistence part and show me trimmed down diffs of the most important pieces here. I like the meta part about the thing debugging itself. I think it's just kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know. So it did show me a massive diff here, and this is impossible to read. So it made this one huge diff. It's completely useless. Well, because it's one create. So one problem here is for sure that the diff is too big. So let's make it to do MD. What do we need? We need a way for the diff viewer to select small hunks, because when the review diff tool actually comes by and is used for large changes, it just throws way too much stuff into the UI. So this was not very helpful. So this is more useful that it shows me this, but basically, yeah, it's like this. What is this? Page 2 of 2. So it showed me what? Don't understand. This is the initial commit for sure. Or it's the merged one. Why is there another? Page 2 of 2. Don't understand this. It's just not very useful, right? It's the biggest problem. It's like this is not useful to me. So I like that. Yeah, it calls out some shit that we actually need to fix clearly. It's already here. Let's remember this. Yeah, I don't know how to. One thing that we are noticing is that the diff tool, when it's being used by the reviewing system, brings up massive diffs. And that makes the viewing experience pretty terrible. Do I always use medium thinking level of codecs? No, usually I use low. I don't know why it's on medium. This is I use minimal usually. It's an oversight. Need a diff. Okay. So basically this, what's it called? Is what I'm talking about. We need to come up with a strategy for how to encourage the review flow to instead invoke this tool with smaller hunks, or if the hunks are huge, that it narrows down the UI on smaller hunks or sub hunks, if that's a thing. So the question is, how will we do this ideally? Which interaction do we expect that a model will actually be able to guide the tool with, or would we better enforce smaller pieces hard on the tool and then just emit back to, as a result of the tool call, emit which pieces we actually showed so that the model can re-steer it if necessary? Basically, I'm not entirely sure if this is a mechanical change or if this is supposed to be a steering change by improving the inputs to the diff tool. I like that it shows diff tool, but it will still understand it. They're just so good. They're so good. I treat this as a mechanic first, steering second. Okay, then if we do mechanical, which is good, then we should return from the tool invocation and information of what was actually shown on screen so that the model has a reasonable chance of understanding when the user is confused that something was not actually shown. Yeah, and I think we want to do some version of max line and max hunks. I don't know what precisely we would do here, because lines is a little bit tricky because we cannot really, there's no interaction we can show. So if the hunk ended up being trimmed too much, it's going to be a horrible experience. So ideally, actually, what we would be doing is we would be using some form of semantic understanding here, which, however, might be tricky. I'm not sure. Maybe we go with the simplest one first and try to not show such large changes and cap it at around 150 lines. Let's try. This is for later. I wonder if reload. It's impressive to me that reload works. Show me a diff again. Okay, it's truncated. This is the part where I wish I would know how to show the tool invocations. Is there like a Control T is thinking? Wasn't there a command to show tool? Expand tools, Control O. Does this? Would this work here? Control O? I don't think it would show me inputs. Right, it doesn't show inputs. Let's do share. I think there I can see the inputs. This was on the wrong screen. So, can I see here the inputs? Don't think so. Mario, if you're listening, how am I seeing the inputs to the tool? I thought there was a way. Is it debug? Maybe it's in settings. Thinking level. Escape. Don't think there is. Well, I guess I can look at the session, right? Session. I like that this is such a long path that the copy paste breaks. Okay. So this was thinking, and this is our neovim. Okay. Tool result. Okay, we want this one copied, and then I guess we. Actually, no. What did I do with my neovim? Okay. I don't know what's going on. This is all slop. I don't know how to re-indent this here. Just do this. Set ft is JSON. Was there not like an in pretty print? Do I really have to do this in Visual Studio now? I'm just too stupid these days for format document. Okay, don't care. JSON language features. This was clearly the wrong message. Tool result. This is the one I wanted. Format document. Yes. Why did it not work? Anyways, this is the wrong message anyways. So what am I doing wrong here? This would be the message, right? Assistant thinking. Just thinking. What is that? Tool call. Review. Okay, source PR. Okay, the only invocation I did to this was the entire PR. Which arguments do we actually support right now to the review diff tool? And what is the prompt? There's absolutely no point in my experience for anything other than self-directed like implementations to use anything above minimal or something. Okay. Diff, base, head, paths, grab. Okay, so if this worked, then pi e, what is it? Pi e c. This is the wrong session. This is the wrong session. I need this one, right? I'm interested in the diff around reconstruct state. Well, again, it picked the entire thing. Do you not understand how to use your own diff tool? Is the instruction unclear? Why are you not using any of the commands that are provided on the diff tool? And which arguments would you like your tool to have so that this works better? This is so meta. It's not using its tool. So, so I'm playing with this and the agent is struggling. Here are some ideas that it has for how to do this better. It's just, it's pure slop. What the hell? Here's its thinking output. Also, this is what it told me in addition. I don't know if this is going to work, right? Because like it already has so many inputs to this thing. And we're basically reviewing one giant file. And it didn't try to use it. Actually, let's do this session again. Bigger session, this path here. Maybe have a look at the following session where the agent struggled using this tool. Maybe this gives us some insights. Note that this is prior to your most recent changes, but I still think that the changes that you did are insufficient for the problem that the agent ran into. What other ideas do you have how to help you with narrowing down diff display? Well, let's try this again. Actually, let's restart it. Oh, it's still editing. It's also, I'm actually using Opus to test it, and I'm using Codex to write it. I don't know if that's necessarily the right strategy here. Okay, assisted review. Actually, let's do this first. Vibing up some shit. So review a pull request. Let's review ourselves. And show me the diff around the assisted review diff command. Will we now get a small diff, or we will see a massive? Okay, it's better. It's better. And then I get another one, or what? And I get another one. Oh my god, now I'm getting so many. I think this is an entire shitty approach, because what I really want is, I think, just some, maybe. Well, now I got too many diffs. Well, this made it way worse, because now the agent gave me 4 diffs all at once, presumably because it was completely confused about why it didn't get full diffs. So we might need some steering here. Session. See this session. We might need some extra steering here, or we might need to be more forceful about telling the agent that this is a crappy behavior. But as a user, I want 1 diff. I don't want a loop giving me 5 diffs. No, you're looking at the wrong thing. That was fine. The initial tool calls were fine. The problem is that once it went to assisted diff, to actually show the user what they expected, we didn't get just one tool call. We got multiple. Right? That's what happened, right? This is 1, 2, 3. Diff calls this turn. I don't know. Is that the right solution? Reload. Show me that diff again. Now it's going to try to call it and it's going to error, right? No, doesn't. Why? So evidently this did not actually work because Mario, I'm super meta into the whole thing here. But I'm using a reload and it's mostly working, I think. It's pretty nice. Any specific aspect you like? This is undo this slop, please. I think this is worse. Maybe the solution would actually be not to try to render diffs at all on demand. I think that might actually just not be the right thing. Let's just return a message from when we invoke the diff tool that even if it's truncated, it has already been shown to the user, and it will annoy the user very much if we try to show him more diffs. So the user basically should reinforce showing more diffs. I don't know if this is going to work. And remove this stupid mention that you can rerun it. That is, no, just don't. But the problem is, like, once you're like 5 prompts into this whole thing, it's like, okay. Show me that diff again. Okay, now I got a diff. I like that this is also printed. I guess there's no way around it. I would love to see the diff for parse args. Is this parse args? This is not parse args. What the hell is this? How, Mario, since you're here, and I had this like, can I see the arguments to this tool somehow without going and open up the session file? Like, is there hidden mode where I can see how this was invoked? This would tremendously help to understand what this thing is actually doing. So where's parse args? Yeah, it is here. If it uses this grep matching, how many lines of extra context does it actually include? Interesting. So what did we pass? Session. Start here. Nvim dum dum dum. I need to find a way to read this because this is I can't work with this. I don't know what the right solution is here. diff like this. Is this how I skip through this? Colon, thinking signature. Okay, assisted review. Arguments, source PR, PR this, grep for parse args, grep context 40. Okay, so it provided grep context 40. That's what it did. Just write a custom tool result renderer that outputs the JSON at the end. Well, since we're already here, to help us debug this extension better, Mario proposes to add a custom tool renderer, tool result renderer for Pi that shows us the input JSON to the tool as well, so that we can better debug this. Am I doing this right, Mario? So the problem basically is actually what I want to do is I think I want to show a dynamic diff view in. Didn't you want to build like a diff viewer, Mario? I'm pretty sure you built one at one point, or you talked about building a diff viewer that is not like slopped into the content. Because I think like having it to be able to bring up a diff view would tremendously help me right now, but there's no. I mean, I can obviously build this myself, but yeah, I don't know. Render call. Will this work now? So if I reload this, actually, if I were to reconnect this session, that's the wrong one now, right? I need to be the earlier one. I need to do this one. Will I now see my inputs? Oh yeah, perfect. Look at this. I mean, this is magic. This is magic. This is magic. It is kind of cool. He did, but he abandoned it. Okay, let's commit some slop here. No, I don't have one yet. I mean, so I guess, Mario, the question here is like, would I want to, how if you were to build this, how would you show diffs in the conversation without actually feeding the diff back into the context, which is really what I don't want to do. Like, I don't care about this. I just want to render it. So maybe just render call is what I want to do here, right? But it doesn't help me that I cannot. Can I render like scroll bars on these blocks that are scrolling by? Actually, maybe this is. Can I do this? Okay, let's try this. Slop. Okay, let's try something. Let's modify render call so that we replace the default text component that's being returned with a scrollable one. Does something like this exist in Pi? What could we show that on render time displays the diff? And Mario tells me tool result.detail is where you put data just for UI. So can we use this? And he tells me there are no scroll bars, so it does really help. But maybe it still works better if we do this with tool result.detail. I know about tool result.detail. I just don't know why. The problem is, like, I don't think there's the way the renderer works. You cannot really do anything as it sort of scrolls by. But I think what you could do is you could theoretically leave breadcrumbs in the log and then use something similar to what I do with /files to find them and then sort of step through. I propose it to switch to render result. Then render should somewhere. Render should somewhere in default view. Render full JSON expanded view. I like it says it's the most idiomatic way in Pi right now. I don't actually think that's idiomatic at all. Because I'm doing something else here. Yeah, how can you come on the screen? I don't know. Like this is, can I put you in a Google Meet? Hold on. Will this work? Okay, we're going to try something ridiculous here. Can I do this? Of course, I need to go to SSO again. My suspicion is I will have to put headphones in, because otherwise this might be horrible. Start an instant meeting. How do I? Okay, I'm sending you something, Mario. Come on. Bad logic. Actually, I should probably not do this on screen here. This is an experiment. The experiment of getting Mario on screen. And I guess the question is, how do I do the audio then? What audio will show up? So I could probably turn on. Let's see if this works. Will Mario join Meet? Admit. You should probably turn off the stream then somewhere. I don't know. Hello. I don't know if this is going to echo really badly. Is it? Okay, I don't know what this is. This is a fun experiment. Render result only. The call doesn't get the TUI handle. This is the most ghetto stream ever. I think it might have to be on. Okay. Hello, hello. Not so far. I think there's also like a stream delay, so maybe like that actually helps here. And I have you on the headphones. Okay, so maybe I should question what I'm doing here, which is my first attempt, that was 2 days ago, on something like this, was to bring up a diff view in the editor in TUI. So like above where we have the widget in Pi, I was thinking maybe I can show like a diff thingy here, and that just completely failed. I think in parts because if it renders for more than the height of the terminal, then it all fucks up. And then I figured maybe I just give it a tool to render these things inline. So it's like, hey, give me a diff, and it just throws this here. But it obviously gets very confused about which hunks to pick. So yeah. Oh, hold on, you're not audible on stream. Hold on, I want to fix this. Someone tell me now. Mario, say something, and then we'll know if you're going to show up on screen now.
Hello, hello. It's me, Mario.
We might be now. Let's see. I think there's a 10-second delay. Okay. Let's continue.
Yeah. Okay, so your goal is basically just to have a diff view instead of Pi, right? It doesn't have to be LLM or agent initiated.
Well, I mean, maybe we start with the basic one and then we figure out the LLM initiated one. Because what I was, so the whole goal of this whole thing was like, help me review slope PRs, which is like start high level and then sort of like, let's find pieces and talk through. And so I was assuming that the most natural way of doing this would either be there's a diff on the side somewhere, and then as you talk, it scrolls to it, or it just shows you the diff in the conversation again.
So the way I did it for my in Pi integrated diff viewer, which is not fancy like what you're playing, all I wanted to do is basically give me all the modified and changed and new files and deleted files. And then I pick one of these and can view the diff inline, right? As the agent does.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are two ways to do this. Either you fully replace the editor component temporarily with a diff viewer that's not bigger than the terminal height. So you would have to have scrolling implemented. The editor component actually implements that. So if you make the editor component large, try to make it larger than the terminal view.
I think it's fixed now, because at one point it was not working correctly.
Yep.
Because I remember that when I pasted in massive things, it was.
Yep, that's fixed now. So for a diff viewer, you want to do the same. Basically, for any component, you want to do the same. For any component that doesn't become part of the chat area, because anything in the chat, yeah.
There was this screenshot that I saw. Someone built like a Tmux of sorts in Pi.
And that was an overlay. That's the second type of thing you can do. An overlay stays within the terminal viewport, the visible portion, and
but
receives
it takes over all inputs.
Exactly. Yeah. But you have access to the TUI instance, which is like the main God object.
On and off.
And you can you can set the focus back to the editor component and to the overlay.
Is that better? Because what I could do in that case, I could basically say like, hey, the diff that it brings up in the, because the other option is kind of do something similar to what I do with /files, where it finds references in the output, and it could be tool calls. And then when you hit, I don't know, when you bring up the diff viewer, you can sort of go back and forth between the different diffs that it showed you. Actually, can I take, no, the backlog always has to be, because it does redraw the backlog, right? So in theory, what I could do is I could sort of say like indent this, like everything that is the scroll back by like 50% and then show the diff on the left. Would that work? No, it doesn't, because when I scroll, it doesn't help me.
Yeah. No, I'm honestly a little bit confused what your workflow should look like. Like, what's your ideal UX?
But the ideal UX, I think, is not in the terminal user interface. I think the ideal UX probably would be I connect from Pi to Visual Studio Code and then have it accept. It sucks on Visual Studio Code because the Visual Studio Code terminal is shitty. But I think it would be like have it remote control the diff view in Visual Studio Code.
And you can do that with the Visual Studio Code CLI. Ta-da! So you wanted it to be fancy and instead of Pi?
Well, I don't know. I want the AI resisted thing to help me, right?
The AI can call Visual Studio Code.
You mean like to open a diff view in Visual Studio Code? I tried that. I failed.
You failed? I do that all the time. Wait, let me give you my VS Code skill. That's funny. How did
the reason I failed is because the only way that it found is to call git diff and then pipe it to VS Code.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I don't have the actual diff view in Visual Studio Code. It's just a syntax highlighted slob.
No, you get a diff view.
But then I did it wrong. Okay, hold on. Maybe this is what I want.
I mean, it's been a while. Let me check. VS Code skill.
Let's try to do your recommendation for a moment and see what happens. Okay.
I'm just trying it out now myself, but this is what I used and what the agent used to show me diffs.
I'm not ruling out that this is the better thing here. So it does. Oh, Code-D.
Yeah, but it seems to not work in. Huh? Oh, open anyway. Open anyway.
Git diff code/d.
Fuck.
And I think you do.
So I just recently upgraded my VS Code, which was probably.
No, this is what I get, right? I had this before, and it just shows me this shit.
Wait, let me switch back to the stream. Oh my god, did I close the browser? Oh, the stream is laggy. Let me check.
I can also screen share for you.
No. It's fine. Oh yeah, no, it works now. So let me show you what I got in the stream. Allow, and then I want you to.
Maybe you have an extension that I don't have?
No. Let me give you the string. Let me get you the command that my Pi just wrote to open up a diff. Chip. Jesus, this is confusing. Okay, I'm putting it in the Twitter chat. But this is basically all it did.
I think the Twitter chat might be delayed or something.
And I'm getting
Twitter chat, or where did you post it? Because I don't see anything.
Oh, in Twitter chat, yeah.
In the
God damn it! Let me post it on Discord.
Blah. Maybe they can only put. I don't know. It might just be heavily delayed.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Twitter for live streaming, but I guess you wanted to experiment.
It's very weird to do live stream with this thing. It's like when you actually go to live streaming, you end up in like clearly a UI that was built for Twitter originally. It's all blue and it says Twitter.
Oh yeah, interesting. But anyways, it's on Discord in your DMs.
Okay, it's on Discord. Perfect. Git diff tool. Okay, yeah, and tool is VS Code. Code-G. Is it Code-G? Code-G.
And then I get a beautiful diff. I mean,
look at my shit. This is not beautiful.
Your shit is laggy, so I don't see your shit yet on Twitter.
Okay, hold on. I will screen share now for you. Now you get the whole experience.
Jeebus.
Enjoy.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I see it on Twitter as well. Oh my god. Let me.
Why do I see this? This is what I get. This is why I sort of bailed, because like this is like what?
Wow. Yeah, that's not what I see. This is also not the diff view. This is just.
No shit.
I don't know.
Maybe hold on.
Let me show you what I'm getting. Okay.
Let me close my VS Code. Maybe there's some shit going on here.
Wait a minute. Oh, god damn it! I can just take a screenshot. Okay. And where do I post it now?
Maybe
god
I need
damn
to
it.
update my.
God, this is so 2026, man. Chaos.
Yeah, this is what I expected. I've seen this in the past, but I wonder if.
Just try it out on the command line.
The command that he sent me. This is what I ran, right? So, okay, hold on. Let's try this. Like you did. I do the whole thing. Git diff. Now git diff tool. -y tool equals VS Code, whatever. Or, I don't know. This is questionable. Okay, this works.
Yeah, told you. Trust your elders.
Interesting. What is this like a? So does Git know about VS Code now? Fascinating. Okay, the neckbeards are using Visual Studio Code. What century are we in? Okay, this is, and this also blocks, right? So until I close this, this is blocked. Yeah. Neat. So then,
and you can call this from inside a tool. So the LLM can just call your tool that opens the diff automatically in VS Code.
Yeah,
Let the
maybe
LLM.
this is what I want. Hold on. But let me try first this now. What does this do? This looks exactly like it looked before. I don't know
Yeah.
what's changed.
Ignore
Show
that.
me another diff.
Just build a custom tool that the LLM passes a file path to, and have the tool open VS Code in blocking mode. And then you could probably, at the end of the tool, when you return from VS Code, you could probably have custom UI that just allows you to directly send back.
By the way, can I render like a diff without this?
Yeah, there's a diff component somewhere that you can use. Let me check. Actually, just tell your
Rumor has
cranker.
it there's a diff component instead of a markdown component.
So
Can you do a scavenger hunt and fix it?
Anytime I have Pi write an extension for Pi, I tell it to read the extensions.md file and the TUI.md file. And
yeah, but it used to already. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's.
I mean, you're at 55%
Yeah, but
context usage.
I'm using Slopex. Supposedly, there's no degradation. I'm hearing from Mr. Master Viber. There isn't a diff component. Pi.
There isn't?
TUI. I also noticed that the copy tool is private. That was very disappointing.
Which copy tool?
Copy to clipboard.
Oh,
it does exist, but you can't use it from extension.
Just send a PR and make it.
I made an issue first because I don't want to vibe something up.
People that have been approved and are in the contributors file can send PRs. Fine. I'm gonna close it down anyways if I don't like it.
Render div.
Let me just go through the. There must be a.
Yeah, there's a thing here.
Component.
There's a diff component, but it's.
Well, it's not a diff component per se. It just renders out the string that you can then put into a text component or whatever.
Yeah, then make it compatible. This is not so hard, Mr. Agent. I swear to you, when it's like US time, the thing is just lazy.
Yeah, I actually just wrote on Discord. It seems like the West Coast is awake now because it sucks. But yeah, did you have any issues with the reload thing?
So I think it needs comments in the extension doc that it stores all the state correctly, because initially when I reloaded, my little widget didn't come back. But it works really well.
So yeah, I haven't fixed up the docs yet. That's next on my list. But basically, there's a shutdown event that you need to react to, so you can close yourself down, persist your state to the session, and then you get a session start again after reload, where your extension can reload the state it needs to reload. That's it.
Well, now it's not rendering correctly. Because now, what does it do? It calls render diff and then just uses text.
That should be fine.
Yeah, but now I see this, right? It shows me markdown again.
Did you do reload?
Yeah.
What is the input to render
Why do I get markdown all of a sudden? The input to render, I hit this again. Hold on. This is the part where screen gets going.
So, yeah.
This is such a meta experience.
It's also interesting watching someone else suffer through building a Pi extension.
Like normally it doesn't take that much, but like this is just like I have no idea what I want. So and this is also like what's that? Why is it doing this? Oh, it's now yeah, because now it's a diff component, so it's like
I think the inputs
to the render mix markdown and diff rendering correctly here. So like use the markdown part for like the pretty things and use the I don't know, the diff part for the diff. I don't actually know how this works at all.
It's basically if you look, I mean, you see the diff in action here in the edit on the left side.
Yeah.
That is what render unified diff outputs. It's basically a bunch of strings with ANSI codes in them.
Yeah.
That's it. and then you smack that into a text component, and that will just split a new line and output that and wrap things. But actually, you can tell it to look at
Render result
the
with a single component. You can't mix markdown rendering and diff rendering in the same output. What? I thought you have a nested component thing.
there's a container, but
but this also just like this is a thing, and then this is not like this is the multiple components rendered, right? Why can I not do that?
no, that's to just tell it to look at the PyMono repository in tool-execution.ts. That's where the edit tool is implemented in terms of rendering, and they can just copy it the way that's diffing there. It's not the editor component.
Which one's
it's
called?
the tool-execution.ts is the file. Sorry. Sorry, you've playing here.
I just hope that it's good for the URL. What do I know?
Yeah. No, but I think honestly the better workflow is just to have it open in Visual Studio Code. So have a
Yeah.
-diff command where you can select one of the files from the Git porcelain, and then have it open in VS Code automatically.
Well, I still think that it would be good for it to show a truncated diff where basically it does run the diff tool, but doesn't render anything, and then communicates this somehow to VS Code to have all the potential files that I want to click through. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but for that you will have to build a VS Code extension.
Maybe not.
Pretty sure.
Why? Because like if I have something like /files, I just list all the ones that I have, and then I hit enter, and it just sends the command to VS Code to show the diff there.
Yeah, for that single file. I understood that you want to have like the list of files in VS Code as well in the sidebar.
No.
And then
The list would be in Py.
Okay.
I mean, it's I don't know. This might not actually work correctly.
Well, just build what you just described because that's 100 lines of code and it will work.
This still looks not like I expected.
Yeah, because the inputs to the render unified diff is probably fucked up.
Unified diff.
Your assisted review is 1,200 lines. It should be like 150.
This is pure slop.
Yeah. That explains your suffering, man.
But okay, what I don't understand is like, why does it say assisted review diff request? And I don't see this anywhere.
It's at the bottom, probably. Too bad Ghosty doesn't have Control F yet, right?
It doesn't have on this machine. It has on the other one.
Okay.
Because like when you install it nightly, then you actually have to update every day, and it's so annoying. So I switched back.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't actually
because
load
it's not expanded. This is the code path for
this is the non-expanded version.
Yeah.
Great.
There you go. Reading the code has value, man. I keep telling everybody, but nobody listens to old people.
But this is way worse now. Okay. But it still outputs this.
Again, the inputs to the render unified diff are probably broken. You have to look into assisted-revo.ts.
Yeah, but like this is just git diff stats git diff stat. This is actually not so bad. It's just a little bit of slop edit. So all the bad stuff is already in the prior commit.
Okay, let me instruct my clanker while you fuck yourself with slop and tell it to build a nice thing for us.
Okay, I will do a new session here. Let's make the diff rendering in the. Actually, this is the part where we can use. We can use tree here. Look, I'm power user. diff pretty. When not expanded, just show diff stats. When expanded, render the whole. Show me also only the diff. Shit.
I'm building you a thing.
It's by the way on GitHub if you want to fuck around with this shit.
I don't. I saw 1,200 lines and I'm like, thanks.
But
got enough fun
most
on
of
my end.
most of this is because this is based off the other sloppy review commands, which I actually use a lot.
Okay, I think my clanker is done. Let me reload. Wait, I need to handle the fallback case for untracked files where git diff tool doesn't. Yeah, that's fine. What a nice clanker. And reload.
Do you use Codex now or do you use Opus?
I switch between them depending on the time of day. So, and the diff, yeah, works perfectly fine. I get what I want. And if I click on this, I get the diff in Visual Studio Code. Let me give you the code, okay?
Give me the
and
code.
then you
I will just tell it to do it like the code.
Wait a second. Actually, let me just share the session to test the right command. No, actually, that's stupid. Let my clanker create a gist for. Is it gist or gist? Okay.
I think it's just
Okay. Like GIF, right?
like GIF.
There we go. Here's a gist. And you just slap that into your .py/extensions folder, and then you have the /diff command.
Hold on. This is a one file for
And
me?
it is 92 lines.
Import this extension into this folder, please. Into Py extensions. Okay, I can't even write anymore. But it doesn't matter. I actually noticed that if you put it in double quotes, it will not correct your typo sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
Okay. Yeah, but it's the wrong folder. But you
Why?
can run it with
No, I ran with
Py.
I'm not this. I still need to do the other thing. So Py extensions. I need to set up this package structure fit, I think. Okay, so what can I do with it now?
-diff.
Like this?
But if you're not in a Git, yeah. Why does it fail on your end? Try. Let me. What did it say? Did it say modified?
Please install Biome globally. That's what it says. I don't know.
No.
Git
Do it.
diff.
Try it again.
Look, there's a.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then just let your clanker debug it. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure you also fucked up your Visual Studio Code like the last time.
Quite likely, because I look at this. When I click here, there's like so many extensions I need to update. I don't even know why this keeps coming back. I haven't used Dart in years, and it keeps coming back.
It comes because you also have Flutter somewhere, so probably. Yeah, man, fix your fucking tools. I don't know why people keep fucking up the perfectly fine tools.
But I don't think. I think that this is like this is the part where the diff command fails with VS Code. Why? Look at the extensions.
So how is it supposed to figure out what failed?
I just wanted to load into the context.
Well, works on my machine. Oh, let's do something interesting.
Oh, look at this. It says diff tool VS Code has to be configured.
Oh.
Is it configured on my machine? It's probably configured on my machine, right? Git Git config, VS Code. No, there's nothing in here. Oh, maybe you set this up in your PyMono. Is there like
No.
a Git? No.
No.
Git attributes.
No.
No,
Let me check my local Git config. Where's Git config stored actually?
I only have source tree configured. This is why
Oh,
diff
there we
fails. Please fix my Git
Um,
config.
My Git config has no entry for VS Code. I'm on Git version 2.50.1. Maybe that comes built in with this garbage. No.
Does not work either. I think it
Tell
just
it
fucked
to-
something up in my Git config now.
Yeah.
Git config VS Code. Ah, now it worked.
Yeah, it did it manually by invoking bash. Look at the last execution.
This worked. So what's different?
Good question.
It's like a side quest here. Yeah, this definitely works when it does it like this.
Well, then tell it to update diff.ts and then reload.
Fix the extension. Okay, so I want to see if this works now.
No.
No? Maybe it does work.
Oh, no, that's the edit. I think you're in the wrong session.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong session. I want...
You gotta label your sessions, man.
Can I label them? Control L? How do I label them?
Just load it. And then dash name.
Dash name.
And then give it a name.
Trying out the stuff here.
Dash resume. Then you see if it took. Yep.
Nice.
See.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I see this now, and if I expand it, then I see pretty long diff. And I still see this thing, but it's okay. I can live with it.
What would it take for you to look into the code or ask your clanker to check what string is actually passed to render unified diff?
Even this one. Well, it's the unified diff, I think. Let me look at the code. I'm not that insane.
No. Don't look at the code. Don't look at the code. Just give the clanker the output of the expanded tool rendering and tell it, I don't want the unified diff. I just want the diff as rendered by render unified diff. If that makes sense. Yeah, just give it the whole thing and say, this is what the expanded tool rendering looks like.
What the expanded tool output.
It is garbage. Oh, you're putting that in XML text? That's cute.
Please,
yeah,
instead.
It's
we
garbage.
only want to see the unified diff
garbage.
and not the garbage around it.
You can give it the example from the edit tool output above as this is what I want.
Something like this is what I want. Better. I like XML text.
You fully ingrained the Anthropic engineering block suggestion. Use XML text.
The thing is, like, early on, I noticed that if I don't enclose it with something, it just completely gets, like, sometimes takes, like, it doesn't know where the boundary is, but, like, they got much better. I did see a funny tweet today with, like, it can't output tool calling XML text.
Yeah, I mean, they must have a really nice regex on their backend on their inference.
Have you ever seen the is it GLM? It's one of the Chinese models has this hilarious code on vibe sloped parsing code for tool calls. It's great.
I've seen that actually because I had to fix it in a VLLM fork that I used on my GPU cluster.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. I think that's what you get if you have a bunch of Python machine learning people suddenly having to build infrastructure as well.
I actually wonder if I can make a change to GhostTT that it includes the ANSI escape sequences in copy paste in an alternative clipboard. That would be really convenient.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay, it's doing something.
Did the other clanker fix your diff command?
It is doing something. Oh, it is one.
Yeah.
Fixed. The extension now gets the original file name.
Well, try it. Reload and try.
Reload. Diff. Nope.
But wait,
not fixed.
was that? I have a feeling this was a different VS Code instance. Can you close that instance? Can you close all of VS Code?
There's only one.
Oh, just
No, it
close
opens
it.
many more. What's going on? Why is it open? Is this like, what is this that it opens here? And why does it tell me to install Biome?
You, like, I've never seen a person having to fight their tools so much like you. Like,
because I don't do this normally. This is look. What?
Oh, maybe it's a working directory issue. I'm pretty sure it's a working directory issue.
Could this be a working directory issue?
Because if you scroll up into the bash command that was executed manually by the model, it just CDs into the thing and calls everything from inside of that with relative paths. Yes, it could be a...
Okay, hold on. I want to reload this quickly. What?
Did you reload?
I thought so.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that anything that was rendered before gets re-rendered.
Okay.
I can add that to reload, but it's
but
usually
I thought when
not.
I hit Control O, it would redraw. Maybe it doesn't do that. No, now it's hidden. Now it's shown.
No, it's still garbage. Just to be sure, quit and resume the session manually. Look, now you have your label.
Okay, hidden.
Nope, still garbage.
Nope, still garbage. What are we up to? Like 30%. Okay. Okay, so this did not fix. What's this now?
Is it suggesting to draft a GitHub issue in PyMono?
Against what?
PyExec doesn't support standard in. Why would it need to support standard in?
I don't understand this. But why does it work for me and it doesn't work for you? This is what I don't understand.
It's the other way around. It works for me, but it doesn't work for you.
That's what I mean.
I don't know, man. I don't fuck with my tools, so they're all vanilla. Oh wait, no, it didn't work for me either. Huh. Interest. Oh. Oh, can you please go back and I have the file name. The first file in the list has the first character cut off in my case where it didn't work. So it's packages / coding client.
Oh, I.
Yep.
Did you wipe slop?
I might have wipe slopped. I also sent you the prompt because we know all open source is just a prompt now.
This is funny. Okay, yeah, this is.
There you go. Try the they are untracked. That sucks. Yeah.
Why you cut off text here? First file name not complete.
So this is what you spend your nights in. That's interesting.
But look at it. I mean, I'm kind of impressed. You give it a screenshot.
I see the first entry shows instead
this
of...
says it's a select component bug. I don't think so. This is a diff.ts bug. Like that it still wants to report the issues on GitHub.
That explains the EQ tracker.
This is great. Look at this.
Yeah.
I like when they start doing this. It's like they got RL'd on counting now.
Yeah. Oh my god, it tried to be a state
But
machine
this
now.
is what confuses me. Look, why is this on medium again? I don't like that much thinking.
Yeah, I usually just turn off the thinking blocks. They are pretty useless now.
Yeah. But also, I just don't like it when it thinks to begin with.
Tell it.
Why do I have to think?
Oh man. Okay, let me ask my clanker because yours is obviously a little
I will look at the source code myself now. This is
No, I'm not. I refuse. I'm gonna unslop this first.
where is it?
The list.
Look at this. It's cutting off things here, right? Like, why is it even doing this? Oh, because it git status. So it would be 3 characters, yeah? Why?
No. Clanker versus Armin. I have my clanker fix it locally on my end. Let's see.
Line. How do you debug, by the way, these things? Because I don't know how to print things in.
So if you want to printf debug, you just append log to a file. That also makes it accessible to the clanker. And otherwise, I open up Visual Studio Code, the JavaScript terminal, the JavaScript debug terminal, and run py in there, and that will allow me to set breakpoints in the extensions and all of that.
So you can actually have py running in the terminal there and then attach debugger?
You don't need to attach at all. Just open Visual Studio Code, then open a JavaScript debug terminal in Visual Studio Code.
How do I do this? Debug.
Command Option B.
Command Option B.
And
agent.
oh,
What the fuck is this?
Where did you put your terminal panel? I'm using the default layout, obviously.
This one.
There you go. Yeah, put that on the side somewhere because this is terrible.
I don't know. Just tell me what I press.
Okay. There's a plus. No, terminal is fine. And then on the right edge, there's a plus button in the same pane. And there you have JavaScript debug terminal around the middle. Okay. And now move into the, yeah, that's fine probably. And now you can invoke py. Oh, you probably have the, do you have the latest main installed locally as py? As a
I think
globally
this is just, this is like, look what this is. This is, it just imports from, this is the,
yeah, just run py-e with the extension path.
Diff.
And then open
debug
diff.ts.
attached.
Open debug TS in the editor and try to set a breakpoint. It's a little wonky, maybe, because in the background Chitty compiles the TypeScript to JavaScript.
Oh, it's this thing. Okay, but basically we want to go to.
It doesn't matter, just
here.
any line will do. Yeah, and that didn't take. Yep.
But why?
Oh, no, never mind. It might be that the module hasn't loaded yet. Just down in the terminal. Just
what's this?
type /diff.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Well, what did you think? I like debuggers.
Yeah, there's a missing. Look at this. There's a missing space on the left.
What's line? What's the content of line?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like you see that there's a space on the left missing, right?
And it gets the line from from the standard out. Yeah, it fucked up the result. Does it trim?
Oh, because it trim. This is vibe slop. Look at this.
Yep.
Okay, now I can't edit this until I stop this. Is that what's happening?
Yep. Now you
Cannot
disconnected.
edit in read-only editor. Why is it a read-only editor?
Because this is not the original source file. This is the GT compiled source file.
So this fixes it. Wow. Now we can
Does it?
reload.
Try.
Yeah, this will fix it. Diff. Look at this.
Yep.
Whoa.
There you go.
Fancy pansy. Well, I didn't actually need it. I need it in here. So let's see if this fixed in the meantime. Reload.
No, here's the power move. You can also debug why the tool result rendering doesn't output what you expect it to output.
Yeah,
without looking at the code.
Without looking at the code.
I mean, you'd still have to set a breakpoint, but
so I do have to look at the code. Okay.
so one thing, yeah.
Assisted review. Now in here, presumably, we are around line 1308. How do you, by the way, set up so that the extensions get the types? I guess you need to set up package JSON. There's no way around it, right?
Yeah, there's no way around it. I think in Visual Studio Code, there's a way to kind of declare global packages that always get injected into the language service, language server protocol shit. But package JSON is fine, and make them peer dependencies.
What was it here? Like it's so meta. It's reviewing its own pull request.
Yeah. So one thing that you could look into, which might be really useful also for your day job, is getting the fucking clanker to use a Node.js debugger.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
I haven't managed to make that work nicely yet. And I have actually now considered building my own Node.js debugger just on top of the V8 debugging protocol bullshit.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I think the biggest problem is, well, not the biggest problem. One of the bigger problems is this TypeScript transformation. I was hoping that like the type stripping that is in Node, it doesn't suck as much, but it does suck.
It doesn't suck. It's just I don't think debugging is a concern for any of these people.
No, I cannot use the transform TypeScript consistently in Node without it breaking. The experimental transform. So there's the experimental strip types, which works, but it doesn't work if you have something like an enum. And then there's experimental transform types, but it has some issues. And the main issues is that, for instance, the way imports work is different.
So I only had. Go ahead.
It's probably our shit, but
yeah, I only had problems with decorated types.
I'm actually impressed by this. Okay, this does work. Diff text.
Man, how do you think I develop? Do you think I'm a caveman? I build all my tools this way.
You described yourself as a caveman, so
yeah, but I'm a productive caveman.
I'm actually confused now. What?
Why?
Because this. Hold on, I need to see what it wanted to show. So it would show me. This is a huge diff now. Oh, it's too long for my. God damn it. How do I make this longer? Is this setting?
Yeah, there's a setting. Command.
It doesn't matter. Okay. So render pretty diff. The output is I need to jump one. What is this? How do I jump one?
The second button from the left.
Step over.
Yeah. Yep. I think so. This has the ANSI sequences in. Your best bet is to go into the debug console. That's in the same pane as the terminal. Yes, and there you can. It's a REPL, so you can just do console. Don't do console log. Do something like that. Yeah. See the input.
Right.
Wait, I need to make this bigger.
This is just a diff.
Is it just a diff? No, at the bottom. Look at the bottom. It has py extension / assisted review TS and blah, blah, blah. All of that gets pushed through the render.
But specifically, it doesn't have this JSON at the top, and it doesn't have the.
Oh, yeah,
look,
true.
It doesn't have. Obviously, it's not quite the same now, but it doesn't have this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no hash. It's just the diff.
Well, then keep.
Because I have render result and what's the other thing?
You have tool call and render result. So you have render call and render result. Those are two parts. The call is what the LLM in it.
This doesn't look quite like the original code because this is obviously TypeScript output crap.
Yeah, but that's the one down.
So where's? Obviously, it uses this.
Yeah, but this is render result, and there should be a render call or tool call or whatever.
Render. I have this. What is this?
No, this is just helper method.
Yeah. So I don't find render tool.
Well, let me just. It's not render tool. I think it's just render call.
Yeah, also doesn't show up. You only have render result.
It should be render call. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not here.
Well,
so
then
the output is correct. What fucks it up then? Is it the problem of the session? If I make it no. So if I make a new session here, let's do assisted review GitHub PR number 4. I wonder if this is. Does the session or the session doesn't store?
No. When you reload, then all the custom rendering hooks are also replaced, but they are not applied to messages that have already been rendered into the scrollback. If you resize the window, then they will be applied again, because that forces a redraw of the scrollback. Yep.
Yeah, now it works.
Yep.
So I was fighting demons.
Yep.
Great. Cool. This is better, but obviously entirely useless.
Can you agree that the 90 lines extension is better than the 1,300 lines extension?
Well, but most of what this extension is doing is completely unrelated to this, right? So here's what this can do, right? It's like, I want you to leave a comment in line 22 that this code needs to be changed.
Oh, does it do a git note thing?
It pens. It has this assisted review comment feature where it now remembers all these comments, and then you can do assisted review comments, and then you see all your comments, and you can review your comments.
Oh, this is nice, yeah.
And then you can, when you're done, you can, if I end assisted code review, then I can share the comments as a GitHub PR. In theory, I never tried it. Why? It looks like slop.
Christina has to read that then, right?
Well, actually, the idea was like that it leaves inline comments, but clearly that didn't work.
Yeah, I would use GitHub CLI for that because
it is using GitHub CLI for that.
Okay.
At least I told it to use GitHub CLI. It's not that I read the code. I think it uses. Okay. When it shares comments on GitHub, it should share it as inline review comments and not as markdown slop. I actually really like the fact that this reload thing works for the most part. It's just, I think it's a little bit confusing, I guess, what it does with the scrollback.
That's fine. That's easily fixable. It's a single line of code. So it just means that on reload, we actually clear the scrollback and re-render everything with the new.
Because like what's interesting is like I can reload this and then I can go to, oh no, I have to, Actually, now I wonder if I were to go to an earlier state of the session, am I still in a review mode?
If you had your clanker write the extension correctly, you would be.
So if I go to this, no summary, I'm impressed. Assisted review.
Yeah, there's two ways to.
But this one doesn't work. Why is because I didn't write one yet. So now I need to write a comment on line 22 that this is pretty cool.
There's basically two ways to persist your state in the session. Either you have like every time you want to save out the global state of your extension, you just write a new custom entry. And when you restore the state, you find the newest one. That's your current state. Or you do it branch-wise, where you just add the custom entry to the current branch. And if you go back to the branch, you restore that state for that branch. That's it.
What?
Yeah, what?
I guess there's no extra output here, is there? But the session does the session have extra info in it?
What does the session have?
This does not work. Is it in a session an error message beyond this shit?
Fail to post one inline comment. I don't know. It depends on how your extension works.
No. What would you expect a clanker does, given the existing documentation right now?
Yeah, it should actually, if it read session.md, it should have a pretty good idea what to do. The problem is, like, I'm super aware of context. So when I ask my clanker to read the documentation for extensions, I check that it read all of them in full.
I generally don't have much of a problem writing extension. It's just this one is pure vibe slop because I didn't know what I want in the first place or what's possible. So now I need to go back to let's try this one. So if I navigate to this one here, it has already executed, right?
Mm-hmm.
No summary. Review comments. Wow, this is cool. So now we end the assisted review and share the comments as GitHub PR. Well, I guess it's just edit debugging. My job here is to copy paste from one window to the other.
You can.
What is your purpose? Copy paste.
Yeah, tell the clanker to tmux and they don't even have to do that anymore.
Yeah, but I found it to be like rather bad at navigating Pi in tmux.
Really? Because I used it all the time to have it test things that we implemented.
No, I mean like for extension development. Like maybe I think need to write like, hey, you need to run /reload and.
Oh yeah, you have to do that, I think.
Well, /reload tree. Go back to this message. Already at this point, really. Well, that can't be. Oh, there's a bug. Why not at this point? I have to go somewhere else first. No summary. Now we go back to this point. Now it works. There's a bug in there. Not my bug. That's a you bug. And assisted review as GitHub PR.
It actually makes sense that it was at that point because you executed that thing likely wrote something to the session, and then that becomes the active branch.
So basically the assistant message doesn't show turn because I was assuming there's one line in there which is the tool call. But I guess the extension kind of fucks with it, right? Because if I execute the extension command, then it's not really.
If you execute that extension command, I'm pretty sure your extension writes something to the session once you're done with the UI stuff. And then that becomes the new.
But if the error shows up, it's not a line in the tree.
Do you know?
Well, it's not, right? Because if I do a tree now.
Yeah, but your extension has things that it saves to the session and things that it shows to you to the user interface. So even on error, it might have written something to the session.
Yeah, but it
which
doesn't show up here, right? I would see it here otherwise, or would I not?
No, there's
Because all the
custom.
assistant blocks is one thing. Okay. So then,
There's two type of entries. There's message entries. Those are the ones that show up in tree. And then there is custom entries, which your extension can freely define, which do not show up in the tree.
okay, let's try this again. And assisted review. PR comments to GitHub PR.
Line not found in diff. Well, I have to pee. I hope it's fixed when I come back.
Welcome to the ghetto stream. Why are you doing this? Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh, this is horrible. I think you are over engineering. Proposal, accept position, update. Yes, let's please make this change. This seems more reasonable. And then take out the slop you just added. There's sort of a meta question if models at this point know what the word slop means. Well, I figured out that it was doing something really dumb. So I'm trying to fix the problem at the source, where it's like it didn't actually remember where to place the where to place the comment. So let's see, which also means I probably need to make a new session here where I didn't place the comment yet. No summary. Actually, I need to reload this first. Is it done? Oh no, it's editing more. I'm pretty sure we'll not use this extension. I don't trust it.
I'm pretty sure we'll use the 90-line one and add a bunch of.
Okay, I want you to leave this comment now. Let's see if it's capable of using its new tool. Oh, now it's asking me dumb questions. E0. Okay. Now, let's end the assisted review and share the comments as a GitHub PR.
I would hate that flow so much. So many things to forget.
It's broke.
Yeah. Give up. Let's go to bed.
I think this will nothing. It will not turn to anything anymore.
No, is this also how you want to review things?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what I wanted. I look, it's an experiment.
Sure.
I did this before I slopped it to death. I had this a version of the extension that actually was somewhat reasonable. But the main problem with actually reviewing was that what I really just wanted is something that narrows down these massive PRs to the useful bits and talks and walks me through it. Why I started treating the code mostly as a, does it handle the cases that I think it should be handling? Right? But it's like, I don't read the code quite as much anymore. Like I talk through it, but you still need to see the code a little bit because otherwise you're just completely giving up.
But to me, it seems like the problem is your PRs are too big.
Maybe. But is that not the world we're going to?
It's not my world. I mean, everybody else can go to that world. I'm just going to stay in my tiny little PR world.
Yeah, you've seen how like Peter's world looks like, right? It's the future,
Yeah.
man.
It might be, but not for me. Not in my little corner of the world.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Oh, look at this.
Did it work?
It left a comment.
Holy shit.
This is success.
Cool.
And with this, I will go to bed. Because I did kind of semi-promise my wife to go to bed before midnight, and it's...
Yeah, our wives hate us, I think. Is there anyone still on the stream?
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
one. Bye.
How do I turn this off? That's a good question. And